Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown, of course, and we're on episode 16 of Cherika Be Talking, cause I be talking. And today's question is it okay to have opposite sex best friends while in a relationship? Now, this particular question came from someone on my Instagram. Thank y'all so much when I asked what y'all want me to talk about on here for interacting. Now, this particular question seems to be so popular these days just because I don't think you can meet anyone. It's rare or almost impossible to meet somebody who don't feel like they have the opposite sex best friend. So let's just start really basic here, and then we'll slowly but surely get into the meat or the answer to the specific question. So, friendships. Friendships are simply, when we think about them, relationships without sex or intimacy. Just like a relationship, we can decide who we want to be friends with. You may meet new friends at different stages and walks in your life. You may hang out with a friend and decide, like, I'll never in life hang with this person again. Our personalities clash and it'll just be high and by for some people. Some people you may ghost and you may try to avoid them. So in a lot of ways, they're just alike. When we think of those people that we do call our friends or that we build friendships with, we think of people who we can confide in and trust, and we tend to develop love for our friends. I don't know about y'all, but I love my friends. My friends love me. You should love your friends. Your friends should love you, okay? So we share important moments and memories in life with these people, and they're our go-to people when we just need somebody to talk to or whatever, or we just need any type of support. So when we go and we put the word best in front of friend, it's simply because this friend is significant in our life in some type of way. Whether it's we have a deeper connection with this friend compared to other friends, or this friend we've known them longest, or we know them best and we feel like they may know us best, or we feel like this is the friend we just relate to more, or the friend we trust with our secrets, our dreams, goals, aspirations. But something about this particular friend is set apart from our other friendships. And in fact, most people consider their significant other their best friend. So with that in mind, I think it's very important to know what your boyfriend's or girlfriend's best friendship is rooted in, if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I would ask a question like, what makes you and this person best friends? I think it's a valid concern. I would ask this because it's important to know the extent of the friendship, like maybe they grew up together, maybe they share experiences together or know each other's secrets, or it could be a situation where someone randomly called the other person best friend and they went along with it and it's just been that way since, which is also weird because this could be rooted in an ulterior motive where this person friend-zoned themselves in hopes of working their way up, in this person's lives. So depending on the answer you get or the emotional response, you may be able to kind of determine if your significant other friendship or best friendship is more than what they're claiming or making it out to be. If they get immediately like defensive, or they feel attacked, or it may seem like just some feelings are there, I'm sure you will be able to sense that. Just trust your intuition, trust your gut. However, I do think people overuse or misuse the word best friend. And I find that a lot of times people call someone their best friend who in fact may only be their associate, especially when it comes to opposite sex friendships. You have instances where people genuinely and truly may be the other person's best friend, but that's not who the other person is to them. So like, say if you have a best friend and you call someone your best friend, that person may honestly be your best friend. Maybe they don't even know other people that you know. So when you tell them stuff, they're holding everything in for you. Like everything you would imagine in a best friend, that person is that for you. But you may not be that person's best friend. So it may not be a mutual agreement. You have instances like that where somebody is like, that's my best friend, but it's not like known that they call each other best friends, if that makes sense. Now, to answer the question simply and straight to the point, I just say no, you shouldn't have an opposite sex best friend while you're in a relationship. I just don't feel like it's appropriate. For one, feelings can be caught and likely will be caught. Both women and men will argue that they have an opposite sex best friends and neither one of them have feelings for one another. We do that all the time. And even if there aren't feelings, humans are created to recreate. I think almost every woman can relate to not genuinely liking someone or being physically attracted to a guy, but spending time with him constantly, talking to him as a friend, and slowly but surely eventually starting to like this guy that she's been talking to. Also, a lot of men I know have little to no standards. I'm sorry to say this, guys, when it comes to being intimate with a woman. So if a man builds a solid friendship with a woman, even if he's not attracted to her at first, keyword at first, he may grow curious and crave a full experience with this woman. I know dudes who have been trying to get with me literally since the 3rd grade. I'm now, as of October 26th, I'm 26 years old. The amount of time a man will do him while waiting on a woman seems endless, if we're being honest. I'm not suggesting that these men are trying to marry me or they just want to spend the rest of their life with me. I'm simply suggesting that a man is willing to play any role he has to play until he gets the chance to get whatever it is he wants or is curious to try out. So you just have to take those things in consideration. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that once you're in a relationship that you can't associate at all with the opposite sex. However, how, when, where, why are you associating with this person so frequently does matter. No one wants their partner confiding in someone else about what's going on in their relationship. And honestly, the stronger your relationship is, you'll start to realize that you don't want to talk too much about like your partner in detail with people around you, because your partner is truly your best friend. Y'all become loyal to one another in a sense, and you deal with things together. And if matters ever get so serious that you just need to vent to someone, you can either seek professional help or you can go to your same-sex best friend who gives sound advice or just have a good thought process, or someone that you can just trust. Another thing I've noticed is that a lot of people, both men and women, try to play the listening ear role in opposite sex best friendships because they may be waiting their turn or trying to pretend to be everything your boyfriend or your girlfriend isn't. I've been guilty in the past of discussing someone I was talking to a quote unquote male friend I had in college. And I could sense in his vibe, that he didn't really care about anything that I was saying or the story that I was telling him. He was more focused on, acting like he agreed with my point of view. The little, when you fake agreeing with somebody, like, for real? Like, what? Like, oh man, I would never do that. But I've also been around my male cousins, complaining about different women that they talk to and saying how she don't do this or she don't do that. And I've witnessed like their female friends make comments like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that. I would never do my man like that. Now, it's some women who make comments like that and they don't mean any harm by it. I think things in my head like that all the time when men are talking to me. But a man, while he's mad or feeling some type of way about his girl, may take certain comments to the head and develop interest in his friend. Like, oh man, she said, it could kind of play on his mind because he's in a vulnerable point. Just think about it. How would you truly feel if your partner or whoever you're dating is laying in a bed or whatever and answer a phone call from their opposite sex best friend complaining about the person that their opposite sex best friend may be dealing with? Because in some cases they be like, oh, she got a man or he got a girl. Oh, why are you worried about that? But they just complaining about him like, oh, he get on my nerves and he doing that. And This is their best friend who is your partner, so they got to be a listening ear. Your partner says things to maybe comfort them and make them feel better, but depending on if your partner's best friend is truly like hurt or going through a breakup, the conversation may go on and it may last for hours or an hour, very long time. So sometimes we can subconsciously develop feelings for the person who was there for us when we were going through like a heartbreak or a breakup. Then the next thing you know, the best friend starts getting their opposite sex energy from your partner and becoming dependent on talking to them every single day, which is strengthening their friendship, which is simply, remember a friendship definition, a relationship without sex or intimacy, until one day, there'll be a day that come, somebody get bold enough to make the first move or confess their love for one another. And, oh, do you feel how I feel? Because I've been feeling like this and I know this connection is strong. Yeah, I know how they go when they get to confessing and they want to see if somebody feeling the pull and the it's just meant to be. And but of course, all of these situations are just things that could happen, but you have to over exaggerate the possibilities when it comes to relationships, because we don't know what causes another human to be vulnerable and or just fall in love. The things you do and talk about with the so-called opposite sex best friend should be things your boyfriend or girlfriend would have no problem with you talking about or doing, you know? So we have to set boundaries with that in mind. Maybe you have to explain to your best friend that you can't talk on the phone with them every day or hang out all the time. I'm not saying when you get into a relationship, just call your best friend and say, hey, what you doing? Or, hey, I'm sorry to break it to you, but yeah, I'm in a relationship now, so this gotta end. Like, you ain't got to do all that. You don't have to be dramatic. You don't have to do a breakup best friendship. But depending on your routine or relationship with your opposite sex best friend, a conversation on boundaries may have to take place, or it may indeed have to end if you're real enough with yourself to admit that maybe feelings were caught on either or both sides. If and only if it is a genuine friendship, there wouldn't be any issues on respecting your relationship and your partner and falling back to let you attract and build the love you deserve. But that's all I have for y'all today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Cherika Be Talking. Make sure you comment any questions you have. If you like this video, like it. If you don't like this video, don't be not liking my video. I'm just playing. And also, if you like my channel, make sure you subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram at Cherika_Brown. And y'all know I'll be back because I be talking. Peace.